Another story that was big today, or not today, but this week. So, um, it was talking about Biden's potential administration. So there was a big story in Politico talking about Biden. The headline is Biden eyes GOP candidates for cabinet slots. So it goes, Joe Biden's transition team is vetting a handful of Republicans for potential cabinet positions, despite doubts it will win him new support despite doubts it will win him new support from the right and the risk it will enrage the left. Um, so like I'm scrolling down to see if there's a few names that say Meg Whitman, the CEO of Quibi, and which I think is shutting down actually, and
Yeah,
she's
they just
also
shut down.
the former CEO of eBay and uh, former governor of Ohio,
Oh,
John Kasich. And then there's also former GOP governor from Massachusetts, Charlie Baker, Jeff Flake, the recently resigned, or not too recently, but senator from Arizona. There's also Charlie Dent, a representative from Pennsylvania, who resigned from Congress in 2018 and became a lobbyist. So this is very stupid of Joe Biden to do, but it's not a surprise. He back during the primary, he said things like, I'm not ruling out a Republican running mate, which he didn't live up to because we have Kamala Harris, who's a Democrat, clearly. And but he was also saying I hope Democrats don't win too much in 2020. It's like, why the fuck would you say that?
Well, he's basically
he's a conservative, so
yeah.
Yeah, the Democratic Party is already pretty far to the right relatively as it is, like relative to the rest of the world. But yeah, Joe Biden is even conservative for them.
Yeah, I mean, like we know who Joe Biden is. I mean, we've known this whole time that he was gonna pull shit like this. This isn't surprising.
Yeah.
If this were a normal election, I may get some slack for this, but I honestly think Joe Biden would be Republican, like a George Bush era one.
He wasn't
I
Republican
don't.
during the George Bush era.
He was.
Right. No,
I thought he was always a Democrat. I think.
yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. He wasn't a Republican during the George Bush era. So I
No,
don't run as
like ideology similar to them. Not necessarily like he registers with the Republican Party.
the Democrats and Republicans have the same ideology.
Or similar ideology when it comes to like some economic things for the most part. Social issues, the two are pretty different. Granted, but
Yes.
yeah, but like social issues are relatively mundane to the economic issues because I think it is the systemic economic issues that we really need to focus on if we're going to fix the multiple problems that we do have in this country. There's have you heard of Some More News? It's a YouTube channel run by the guy who used to work for Cracked Magazine named Cody Johnston. But like he did a video back back during the primary that saying that Joe Biden should primary Donald Trump as a Republican. And I honestly agree to that because like it is one of my unpopular opinions that, Joe Biden has more in common with Donald Trump than he does with Bernie Sanders.
Yeah.
And
yeah, that's true.
yeah, I told that to my dad and he went nuts. But
That's true.
But yeah, like it is true. Joe Biden is and he said as such, or at least Barack Obama has said as such. In reality, my ideology is that of a moderate Republican, an old school moderate Republican. And yeah, so like it doesn't surprise me at all that Joe Biden would pull this, but it is very stupid, and it understandably would enrage the left. And but he says the whole point of it is to try to spread throughout the spectrum, like very Dave Rubin sounding reasoning. It's like I just want to bring in all these ideas,
Yeah.
But then if that was really the case, wouldn't he have communists or anarchists in his cabinet if he's going to bring far right people from the Republican Party? Because that pretty much is kind of an opposite equivalent situation.
Joe Biden's just like he's a neo-lib, he's a neocon, he's in the center. He's just he's a conservative Democrat. Maybe you could call him a liberal Republican. I don't know. He's Joe Biden. We know who he is.
Fortunately, he's our means to an end in this election.
Yeah, sadly.
Yeah, exactly. He's our way of getting Donald Trump out of office.
Yeah. And because like he belongs to a party that is moving further to the left, like very incrementally, a lot slower than I would like it to be, but it is moving to the left with, more elections of people like AOC, Jamal Bowman, just to name a couple. But him being a part of a party that is like that, I think we'll have a better shot at him, taking him on when it comes to policy rather than Donald Trump, whose party doesn't care about no one from that party really cares about the needs of the working class at all, whereas the
Oh, they don't.
Democrats are at least somewhat split on
We'll
those
see.
issues.
Like, if Joe Biden is looking at Republicans for cabinet positions, we'll see how much influence we have.
Yeah.
I mean, I really would. The thing is, like, I don't know. Like, I would be like, if he does choose Republicans, like, you have to be very because you have to be careful with them. I'm even untrustful of the moderates because they really like to switch their positions a lot, and I don't know. I just don't feel comfortable with Joe Biden having Republicans in his cabinet.
No,
Yeah,
They'll
I
have
don't think anyone feels
a
comfortable about it.
they'll have a more sinister agenda to help their party rather than American people.
Yeah.
yeah.